Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to this week's episode of Nicole D. Vick Live. I am Nicole D. Vick. It is the beginning of November, walking right up into Thanksgiving and the beginning of the holiday season. And honestly, I feel like this episode should be called Harmony Amidst Discord. There's a lot going on in the world right now, a lot. If you don't know what's going on, you must be under a rock because there is so much happening. We are literally doing this intricate dance right now of exploring and expressing gratitude, right? Thanksgiving is coming in a world tangled in global strife. Like so many countries right now are having so many things going on. Now, if you are watching the news, you're probably hearing a lot about Israel and Palestine, but there are other things happening in Democratic Republic of Congo, things happening in Haiti. So there's a lot. And for me right now, I'm just really struggling and thinking like, how do I journey through sort of this really difficult terrain of walking into a season of thankfulness when there is such a huge backdrop of global conflict. Literally, everything is happening right now in a way that just really is, to me, doesn't make any sense. Like, why is this happening? I can't ignore the elephant in the room, right? I think the most present elephant in the room is what's been going on since the beginning of October. Violence, turmoil, and death in Palestine and Israel. And again, as I just mentioned, stuff is happening in Democratic Republic of Congo and also Haiti. And for those of us who are on the other side of the world, not really in the midst of it, don't quite understand, it can be really hard to find that gratitude. It can feel like, we're navigating a storm. So, in the midst of this chaos, um, I think some of us can find that connection between gratitude and resilience, even though we are literally witnessing something that many of us have never seen before. And for me, I just wish peace for the world. And I hope that you all are safe and are expressing extreme gratitude for your own health and safety because there are so many people at this very moment who do not have health and safety at all. Okay, we cannot forget them, and we have to stand up for what is right and what is true. A lot of us as Black folk, we understand oppression and colonization, and people of color, we get this stuff, right? We understand it in a way that I don't think anybody else does. So if you're not really clear on what's happening, I am not an expert. I will be the first to tell you that. If you are not sure about what is happening, I encourage you to follow people who are keeping us informed. For example, I follow Amanda Seals, and she's been doing a really good job of keeping us updated and sharing stuff that maybe we don't see on mainstream media. I also follow Sunny Day Jones on Instagram. And I would also challenge you to pay attention to the media closer to where things are happening because unfortunately, the stories or the media that gets shared with us in the United States isn't necessarily unbiased, right? We don't often get the full context. So I just want to say that, and just do your research, keep your mind open, pay attention to what's really happening, and find those voices that are really sharing the truth. It's a tough time right now. People are getting sort of canceled for speaking out. It's a little, in the social media world, it's a little wild. So again, I just challenge you to find that compassion in your heart and to understand what's happening. And also, as you express your thankfulness and for your health and your safety and your family and your loved ones, just remember that there are people on this planet in this moment that are traumatized, that will never see their families again. Okay? Full stop on that. And if you are human and you have a heart, killing of children and anything like that, unacceptable. So, hey, just pay attention. I think it is your responsibility to stay up to date on what's happening on the news. Again, make sure you're seeking out sources that are not just kind of giving you one side of the story. Always think to yourself, wait a minute, where's the rest of the story? Where's the rest of it? There's something is missing here, okay? So just please, I challenge you to definitely pay attention. And again, bottom line, be thankful for what you have, because there are some people in this world that don't have that right now and would wish to have safety, health for themselves and their families, okay? Switching gears a little bit, but not quite, because this is more sort of turmoil, but it crossed across by LinkedIn. And I said, let me dig into this, because this is another topic that is very close to home for me. A lot of people that I know actually work in this line of work and have been doing a lot of work on this. So let me read you this. This comes from Bay City News. More than 2.5 years after a law took effect requiring maternity care staff to complete racism in medicine training, only 17% of hospitals were in compliance, according to an investigation published by the California State Department of Justice on Friday. So this was last Friday or Friday. I don't know. I'm getting my dates mixed up, but it was reported recently. You can Google it and find more detail, but I'm going to keep reading this. The training matters, the Attorney General says during a press conference, because of the state's persistently high death rates among Black mothers. This is in California. And the article goes on to say just what I was about to say. I'm like, hold on, because California is often looked at as a national model for improving maternal outcomes. Hold on now, right? Black women are still far more likely than others to die during pregnancy. They account for only 5% of pregnancies in the state, but make up 21% of pregnancy-related deaths, according to the California Department of Public Health. That is what is called a health disparity, or more appropriately, a health inequity. Inequity is rooted in racism, and this article clearly lists that as an issue. There's some injustice there, or injustice. I said injustice, child. Injustice. All right, let me keep reading. The mortality rate for Black infants is also 3 times higher than for white infants and nearly 1.5 times higher than for Pacific Islander babies, the second highest mortality rate. This is also from state data. Investigations into the cause of all pregnancy-related deaths by the California Department of Public Health determined that more than half are preventable. More than half are preventable. That means that there is something that can be done to fix it. That's what preventable means. Quote, we need to listen to this data. It is screaming at us to do something. Yes, it is. Listen to these women and make substantial transformative change before another patient is hurt or worse. I'm going to say that again. Listen to these women and make substantial transformative change before another patient is hurt or worse. No hospitals were in compliance when the department began its investigation in 2021. No hospitals were in compliance when the department began its investigation in 2021. And not a single employee had completed training. Lawmakers passed the California Dignity in Pregnancy and Childbirth Act 4 years ago in an effort to reverse the vast disparities or inequities in maternal deaths among Black women, who are 3 times more likely than any other race to die during or immediately after pregnancy. The law requires hospitals and other facilities to train perinatal care providers on unconscious bias in medicine and racial disparities in maternal deaths. It took effect in January 2020. Now, remember, COVID was also happening around the same time, okay? The Attorney General recommended lawmakers adopt additional regulations to strengthen the law, including setting clear deadlines for compliance, designating a state agency to enforce the law, and introducing penalties for non-compliance. Former state Senator Holly Mitchell, who is now 2nd District County Supervisor here in Los Angeles, she's also the author of that bill that was written in January 2020, said, clearly more must be done to implement the policy. According to the department's investigation report, about 76% of more than 200 hospitals surveyed had begun training employees by August 2022, but had not completed training. 2 hospitals had not fully trained any staff, and 13 didn't provide the department with any information. Nearly a third of facilities to which the Department of Justice reached out began training only after they were contacted by the Department of Justice. Like, hello? Suggesting that their outreach caused compliance in many cases. It is well documented that racism in healthcare settings contributes to poor outcomes. It is well documented that racism in healthcare settings contributes to poor outcomes. Black women in California consistently report poor experiences with medical professionals during pregnancy, including mistreatment because of their race, age, socioeconomic class, sexuality, and assumed or actual marital status, according to a recent research review and report by the California Department of Public Health. They also struggle to convince providers that they are in pain and report mistreatment when advocating for their health during pregnancy. A national survey from 2016 revealed half of white medical students and residents believed false and debunked myths about the biological differences between white and Black patients. Those who endorsed the beliefs were more likely to dismiss patients' pain and make inaccurate treatment decisions. Quote, what is so deeply offensive about this is it is within our power to change, Mitchell said. And I 100% agree. We have to do better. And the crazy part about this, again, I know so many people that are working on this stuff. This is like their life's work. They're so committed to trying to make change. But it requires change on all levels. So they created this law saying you have to train your staff. And then the staff, they're not trained. Who's going to make sure this law gets sort of fulfilled, I guess, or the compliance is there? Because it's really not safe. I feel like almost like you are better off, and I don't even know if I should even say this, but you're better off like having your baby at home. Like, oh, I'm just gonna figure this out myself. I don't understand, and that shouldn't be the case. But thankfully, I'll say this: midwifery, doulas, that whole sort of it's not new, that whole realm of sort of healthcare and advocacy work to really support Black women, Black parents as they navigate having their children, really, really important, has been really, really effective. So I'm just very troubled by this article. But the other thing it highlights is the importance of policy to push systems change and to improve health outcomes. It's not the only way to do that, but it's a very powerful way to do that. And this whole idea of compliance in this respect is very important. Should there be penalties? Should people get in trouble for not training the staff? I don't know, but I feel like this is an important step, but definitely more to be done because people's lives are at stake here. This is not just a little game like, oh, sorry, haha. No, there have been women here in Los Angeles County, Black women that have died while they were giving birth. We all know the stories about Serena Williams and her first child and Beyonce. There's every it's a lot. And I think there's just so much more that needs to be done. But I want to always bring these kinds of stories to you all because I need you to understand how important this is. This is not, oh, well, this is huge. This is major. There are people that are pregnant, Black people that go into the hospital fully expecting to come home with their babies and they don't come home. It's unacceptable in 2023, almost 2024. It's unacceptable. So I'm hoping they figure out what to do with this particular policy to get folks in compliance because training is actually bare minimum baseline when we're trying to, do things differently and shift the culture of organizations and healthcare systems. But it's still very, very important to get everybody on the same page. Like, look, this is what's important here. And this is the expectation moving forward. So I hope to see more sort of work around compliance and hopefully we'll see some changes. But this is heavy and this is huge. I don't even know what else to say. And I've had episodes of Nicole D. Vick Live with some folks that are doing this work. So if you want to go back into the archives, it's there where I've had folks talking about this very, very important topic. So this is definitely not new. And this has been going on for far too long. Far, far, far too long. And more needs to be done. All right. We're going to go into commercial. When we come back, we're going to talk about some stuff I've been observing and what's going on with me in social media. Alrighty, see you on the other side.
In a world filled with diversity, where radical faith and progressive believers come together, there's a place that's breaking all boundaries and embracing believers from all walks of life. Bullet and Flight Radio, where believers unite, boundaries break, and love triumphs. Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
And we're back. All right. My daughter was braiding my hair down the other day. And she was like, what do you want to watch? And I was like, I don't know. I don't really watch TV, y'all. I watch YouTube videos. I watch nail tutorials and true crime, old true crime that they repost on YouTube, like A&E and some of those channels have those true crime shows. I watch that and nail tutorials, and that's it. I don't even watch nothing on television. But she was like, you know what? I know you haven't watched Abbott Elementary. Let's watch Abbott Elementary. And she's right. I haven't seen any episodes. I know I'm late. But so she puts the episodes on, and I think it was the second or third episode of course, season 1, because I ain't seen none of them. And Janine was getting dropped off to work. Her little boo was in the car. He was a rapper, and and it's so funny because as I'm watching them dialogue in the car, I'm looking at her and him, and I'm seeing myself. I said, dang, she's so smart. She's a teacher. She has a, decent job and seems like a very smart, young lady. Why does she remind me so much of myself? And I said, daggone it, because that daggone Tariq, she, she too good for Tariq, but that's her boo, right? Now, I haven't seen future episodes. I don't know what happened with them, but just that one episode when he's in the car with her. And so I guess he hadn't eaten. She gives him her breakfast little egg McMuffin. She gets out the car. He scoots over and takes the car and drives off. She wanted to come see the show, the hip hop show. Oh, no, you can't because it's real small, and only 15 people and you would be one extra. No, no, you can't be there. And then the text later on, hey, you're going to need to put some gas in the car. Why you can't put gas in the car, Tariq? Why you can't? The funny thing I will say about that whole thing is I said I might have dated some, cray dudes. You ain't finna take my car nowhere. So I'm just saying that for myself. That's the line for me. You're not taking Felicia's my car, nowhere. Even when I had Charmaine, which is my Nissan Maxima I had for like 16 years, you know. It's funny where my line is drawn, but it wasn't drawn in other places, but it got drawn with the car. No, you can't drive my car. So that was where me and her were different. And I don't know if I would give you my breakfast sandwich either. But it was just so funny to see her like, girl, you selling yourself short, girl. You deserve better. Sis, this man probably ain't got no real job. He in a hip hop. So like I said, I know I'm late, but it was just funny again, first time seeing it, and I'm watching her and I'm like, dang, that remind me of not the recent ex, but the ex before that. Like, dude ain't really got nothing going on for himself, and that's not good. And it's funny how she sort of took that frustration with him out at her job. How often do we do that? Take what's happening at home, and we might not even realize it, take it with us to work. It's so crazy. I just had to share that because I was like, oh, yeah. Janine, you got to let Tariq go. Now, y'all tell me, because maybe you can give me the fast forward version. What happens next? Does she end up with the guy, the substitute teacher? Because I feel like he like her. I see it. I see the vision. But anyway, I just saw that, and I don't know. It's funny to see yourself on TV when it's, like, that was wild. All right, y'all. Anyway, I might do a TikTok about that because that just really stuck with me. Over on social media, I've been seeing stuff on LinkedIn that I've been wanting to share, and I'm like, golly, this is wild stuff. So, for example, on LinkedIn, I came across this post where it was a graph or chart, bar graph type thing, and it said expected wealth benefit for 4-year college graduates as compared with high school graduates. And so what it did was it had birth decade of graduate from the 1940s to the 1980s, and then it said percent advantage. And so they had black in the green, and then white, non-Hispanic, and black. Listen, I looked at this. So if you were born in the 1940s and were black, your college degree actually benefited you. It actually made sense to go to college. And the 1940s, it was beneficial for you to go to college. 1950s, it wasn't. There was a drop. 1960s, there was some benefit, but it was still declining. 1970s, 1980s, no. And so as I saw this on LinkedIn, I said to myself, why are we telling... That's not the right question, because I was going to say, why are we telling black people to go to get educated? That's not the right question. The right question is, we tell people, black kids, go to school because it will guarantee you a better future. You will have a good paying job. You'll be able to pay for your housing and, da 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 da. But the I can't even talk. The data doesn't bear that out. It literally doesn't. It doesn't bear that out. And so it's like, well, why are we telling kids to go to college, to get into debt, to go to college, when literally the result is not what we expect it to be? It's so weird to me. Why aren't we doing a better job of making sure that when folks go to school and spend the money to go to school, that there is something for them when they get out? This thing is literally saying, so I was born in the 70s. I'm looking at this graph. And if for black people, there was literally zero benefit of going to college. Why? And the funny thing about this is, especially for Black women, the data might say that, but we still go to school. I literally have 3 degrees. Literally 3 degrees. If I could get a fourth one, I probably would. But it's like, I ain't going back no more. But you understand what I'm saying? We continue to do this because we have been taught this, especially Gen X. Go to school, go to school, go to school. And so we go, but we still under earn all across the board. So it's like, why? So weird. And so I did a video about that on TikTok, and I showed the graph, and I'm like, this is crazy. So crazy to me. How can we do better? How? Because we can't continue to tell people to do something and it literally does not reap the benefit that it's supposed to. That's wild. To tell somebody to do something because it's supposed to be good for you, but the data doesn't even bear that out. Like, it's actually not. So why are we telling people to do this thing? To get into student loan debt? Is that what's the point? It's too much. So y'all look at that and you tell me what you think about it. Cause it's really looking real bad, real bleak right now. I still have a feeling that a lot of us will still continue to reach for that high mark. We're gonna still go to school because we're just so trained to do that. But we're gonna have to do better with making sure folks have jobs and meaningful. It just makes sense to do that thing, right? If it doesn't make sense anymore, why are we doing it? So, it's just so depressing. Anyway, I also posted on TikTok. Ooh, I bought one of them fancy dancy candle lighting things. I be seeing Jackie Aina with them. It's not the little candle lighter that people use to light their like barbecue grills. It's that other one. It looks real sleek and it kind of lets out this little thing. It looks like a taser, but it's small. Those candle lighting things, child. I bought one of those from Amazon. And I bought the little thing that puts the candle out, the little damper. I'm gonna call it a damper. I don't know if that's what it's called. I felt like rich auntie. I was like, oh my gosh, is that all I had to do was buy a little candle lighter and a damper to feel like a rich auntie? This is amazing. It's so funny how those little tools and things kind of elevate your experience in life. I mean, I could use a match. Yes, I could, but this thing is just so much, and it's rechargeable. You just kind of plug it in and it recharges itself. I'm like, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. The other thing, I bought this really cool sweatshirt from this company called Mahogany Mommies. I believe that's what it's called. And it says, Dear Ancestors, I understand the assignment. And the first thing I thought about was Felicia, the author of the book, the journal, regarding your ancestors, how you can sort of manifest with your ancestors. I thought of her when I put this shirt on because it's true. Like, if you are in tune with the folks that literally created the foundation that you stand on, you understand. And I've told you guys before, my great grandmother, I was little. I had to have been in elementary school. I wish I could remember exactly how old I was. But I remember her asking me if I was going to go to college. And I said, yes. And she said, good. So you can be Dr. Vick. I remember that. So it's funny because I got the shirt and I'm like, yeah, that was the assignment. The assignment was to take care of my family. The assignment was to go to school and get educated. The assignment was to rep your neighborhood, period, and to just create community wherever I am. And I definitely took that to heart and followed the model that was laid out before me from my ancestors. They were all business people, community driven people. And so I got it. I understand what I'm supposed to do here. And I hope for you that you understand your assignment. Reflect back on what your ancestors did for you. Maybe not directly. Maybe they weren't here before you got here. But just if you can, go through some old photo albums, check it out and and talk to your elders. They have stories. They remember. See what's going on in your family and what folks did. And maybe that assignment will become clear to you. I think that's a beautiful thing. The other thing that I shared on TikTok, I was driving to my usual coffee spot to sit with my classmate. We have to start writing again, doing some more work on our school stuff. And I find myself when I'm driving, and I was like, I know this can't just be me. I have these imaginary competitions with other cars on the road. Like, I might notice a car and I'm like, you think you driving fast. You ain't going nowhere. Driving fast and get stuck at the same light. I'm like, uh-huh. That's what you get. Or, I can tell they're trying to swoop. And I'm like, I can swoop too. So I'm swooping. And I said, am I the only one that feel like I'm in a competition with one or two drivers along the way? Is that just me? Thankfully, TikTok said, nope, not just you. It's me too. So I feel better about that because I was concerned that I was the only one. Now, listen, that doesn't mean I that little car to my left and I'm like, I see you was trying to make that light. You got stuck. I didn't, and I'm gone. It's just that kind of thing. I'm not driving fast and hitting the brake hard and cutting in front of people. Sometimes I do cut in front of people though. Sometimes it's necessary because some people in LA don't know how to drive well and they drive too slow. And so I just, bye. Mm-mm. Or sometimes people, think they speed racer. And I'm like, I just need to get away from you. So I'm about to just do some moves and get up out of your way because you about to cause an accident and I don't have time. I have full coverage insurance. I don't know what you got. Okay. Or when you see somebody car tow up, that's why your car tow up now because you don't know how to drive. What you cutting in front of people for? Now, there was one time somebody was trying to be speed racer. And sometimes I feel like Felicia is a speed racer, and my partner at the time was like, Nicole, let it go. Cause I was getting irritated and I was about to hit the gas. He was like, luckily I listened and I backed off cause I was finna try to race. Sometimes it do happen that way, but most of the time it's not, okay? So please, I'm not crazy, okay? I know I'm not the only one that does that when they drive. I know I'm not. But check that video out and look and see what the comments are. Anyway, as always, you can follow me on social media. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all Nicole D. Vick. Woo woo. I have a beautiful website, www.NicoleDVick.com. You can see I have a Spotify playlist of all my podcast appearances. You can see awesome the videos I've done over the years, like my TEDx talk and all those sorts of things. You can reach out to me if you need me to come be a MC or give a keynote or whatever. So yeah, check me out. I have 2 books, so you can purchase my books off my website. Pushing Through, Finding the Light in Every Lesson, and Push Through, 52 Weeks of Light in Tough Times. All right, y'all. I'll see you next week. Y'all be safe. Okay? Take care of yourselves. All right, y'all. Bye.